No, it's okay, cool. It's Saturday. Yeah, that's not what. Do you know how important today is? Let me tell you why. Not one, but 2 years ago, this very week, I sat on this couch with that guy and we did this show on YouTube for the first time. Welcome to the 2 year anniversary of Wrestling with Egos. I'm Patrick, joined as I am each and every week by my best friend in the entire world, Mr. Brian. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, and since you brought up that little piece of Wrestling with Egos trivia, I would be remiss if I didn't send out a heartfelt thank you to everybody that's been associated with the show.
Yeah.
Our wives, our friends, um, our subscribers.
Johnson Eisenman.
Yes, RJ, our beloved co-host in absentia.
And
Um,
to all of you, I simply say happy Ego-versary.
yes, we enjoy this diversion, being able to bring you this crazy little lean, mean, wrestle talking machine. It's been very, very important to all three of us for a lot of different reasons. Not the least of which is we get to bring you our thoughts on the world of professional wrestling and let you know why we love it so much.
Exactly. Not only that, it's also cathartic. It's also a creative outlet for all of us. And at the same time, with Global Pandemic Bastard, with the two exceptions of us being able to get together and play golf, we haven't seen each other that much. So, you know, this is this is kind of our our dude time.
That
You know,
FaceTime action.
this is boys' night as opposed to when the Lovebird and Hello Nurse will just look at us and go, all right, go play, go play.
Yeah.
This is boys' night now, as opposed to us being able to just be stupid in each other's houses.
And the big news of the week, I think, is that all of a sudden, right from under our noses, the week after Easter is going to be jam-packed and chock full of some hella good wrestling.
Oh yeah, and and if you're here for AEW stuff this week, sorry, it's not happening. Um, don't get me
We
wrong.
love what you guys are doing over there. Don't get me wrong, but some things are coming into focus.
And there's a certain big show happening, and unless it happening 2 weeks from right now. So we're gonna focus.
Whoa, WrestleMania.
Okay, we're not doing the WrestleMania wrap. Good Lord, no. One of the worst moments in WrestleMania history. Yes, worse than the Big Show in a sumo diaper.
Well, and apparently some congratulations are in order too, because apparently one of my boys, The Weekend, has the official theme song for WrestleMania, which is "Save Your Tears," which I love that song because on a lot of the commercials I've seen for it, they're using that song, and I'm like, all right, dig it.
In other music news, Orange Cassidy has a new theme music. Where Is My Mind by the Pixies? That's awesome, by the way. I have one problem with music in WWE. Have you ever noticed main roster shows have music that gear more towards Brian and his type of music, and NXT is a whole lot of metal? Triple H, I got a bone to pick with you real quick, good sir. The show is called Stand and Deliver, and the theme song is by Rob Zombie. There's a certain song by a band called Metallica that's an old pirate shanty called Whiskey in the Jar. And it uses the word stand and deliver in it, and you totally whiffed on it.
Maybe the price was too high.
Not for Triple H, because he's got a good relationship with Lars.
I agree.
Triple H and Lars are cool. I mean, Triple H was cool with Lemmy. So
Yes.
therefore, the rest of the metal community looks at Triple H and goes, all right, he's cool. Lemmy was friends with him, so by default, we have to give him a pass. So
That's fair.
totally missed on it. By the way, opening day next week.
Yes. So a lot of stuff is happening. As
Open.
far as the stand and deliver card goes, I'm going to say something to you right now that's probably going to surprise you.
Okay.
As things have unfolded, I have decided that should Karrion Kross defeat the Prince for the NXT Championship, I solemnly swear that I, Brian, 1/3 of the Wrestling with Egos team, will do my best to be okay about it.
As you should.
Because I love the story they're telling. I love the way that they are just kind of orbiting around each other. There's not a whole lot of physicality just yet. There's just enough to get the points across, which means they're setting us up for something brilliant
Oh yeah.
on night 2 of Stand and Deliver. So I
Oh
just
yeah.
wanted to put that out there now that I'll be fine. I'll,
Good.
I'll be fine.
Good. Good. Not good. Good. So let's talk stand and deliver because this card is shaping up much like WrestleMania. This card is shaping up to be nasty. And it's all headlined by the main event on night 2. Finn Balor defending against Karrion Kross. Man, the promos that those two dudes cut on Wednesday night were legendary. Balor, Brian brought this up to me over the course of the week. Balor dropping the fact that, people fight with emotion. Some people call them demons. But when I learned to be cold and shut off my emotions, I became untouchable in the ring. Totally explains the demon character. I'm like, holy crap, that's next level. But we can pontificate on that all night, and we are not because there's too much to talk about
Much
tonight.
to talk about.
Um, okay, aside from the main event, and we'll run through the card here in a few minutes. But aside from the main event, what one match from NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver has you salivating the most? What is your perfectly cooked steak?
It's got to be Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez because you have to go. I think you have to go back to take your pick of the horsewomen
Yeah.
to find a female's character being developed incrementally, logically, the way they've done with Raquel Gonzalez.
Oh, absolutely.
And bonus points to Dakota Kai and the role she's played. Those two are probably going to be splintering here at some point because Raquel's at the point where I don't think she needs Dakota there anymore.
No.
Which is, again, I'm fine with it. I'm a Dakota Kai mark, but I'm fine with it. That's the one that's got me salivating because we all know what Io Shirai can do in the ring. She's been doing it for a year plus now.
Right.
Being put in those frontline spots, like the War Games match, like the triple threat matches, like the match she had at Takeover in Your House last summer, and she's been delivering in them, all of them. There haven't been clunkers.
Io Shirai is the second most consistent performer of all women's wrestlers under the WWE umbrella, behind only Rhea Ripley. That's it.
Right.
Nobody is more consistently kick ass than Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley. Not Belair, not any of the horsewomen, not Alexa. Nope, not happening. My match that has me salivating is not that one. Can you take a wild guess what it is? Because you know me, you know what kind of matches I like. What do you think has me just salivating and ready to put that steak in my belly?
Does it involve Walter
It most certainly does.
and
Not,
Tommaso Ciampa?
not only does it involve Walter, it involves Tommaso Ciampa. Okay, so it for the UK title, it is Walter and Ciampa. Here's how awesome I think this match is and how hard hitting this match is going to be. When it was announced, the next morning, as Hello Nurse and I were getting ready to start our days and she was getting ready to leave for work, I was like, oh, hey, by the way, for Takeover, they announced Walter's going to defend the UK title. Oh, cool! Against who? Ciampa. Ouch! What's really?
And this was another one of those matches that kind of came out of nowhere because you had, Walter just kind of reintroducing himself because the average fan hasn't seen much of him. I know we hyped up the match with Dragunov last fall, and it wound up being our match of the year for obvious reasons. If you haven't watched that match, go back and check it out.
Shame on you, by the way, if you haven't watched that match.
Yeah, you've had 3 months since we espoused it. And so there he is. He's beating up Drake Maverick, and Drake Maverick did a great job of taking the licking, and being the sympathetic.
15-second ass whooping and no chops. I'm sorry, I was disappointed. Drake Maverick is a god when it comes to overselling the snot out of something. He is a god. Why did you not chop him just for number one, the sound effect of this happening, and number two, the blood curdling scream?
Right.
I might be a little sadistic in that, but you know what? I needed to see and hear that.
And then all of a sudden, here comes Ciampa. And I remember sitting there thinking, this would be an interesting matchup. Oh, we're about to get this interesting matchup. Yes, please.
Yes. Ciampa's going to take several chops. Walter's going to take several knees to the face. It's going to be a fight, and I'm here for it. Brian and I have both seen Ciampa live in the ring, and he ain't no slouch.
No, he's fearless. He will take your best shot and dish out 6 of his own.
Yeah. If there was an American strong style, Ciampa's probably might be one of the poster boys for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am so looking forward to that one. That's going to be an absolute just brawl. Are there any matches on the card that you look at and you're like, eh?
I've got the card. I'm scrolling through it. The one, I guess, what they're doing with Gargano's North American, or the Gauntlet match, because they're trying to get as many people in there as they can. Here's what I hope happens with that. I hope Pete Dunne wins that Gauntlet match, because Dunne and Gargano to me is the money match.
I think that would be a great match.
It's not. I'm looking at some of the other guys. It's not Atlas. It's not Kushida. All apologies to Kushida because you're brilliant. It's not Bronson Reed. It certainly isn't Cameron Grimes.
Can I be honest? First off, if it's Cameron Grimes with the promos he's been cutting lately, I might be okay with it.
They're so terrible.
Kiss my grits.
They're
Kiss grits.
So bad.
Oh, what? You know what? You do not appreciate the hilarity of the overemphasized Southern accent. I do. I lived it. I'm related to it, Bubba.
I understand.
So you know what? I think it's just hilarious. But here's the one person I hope to God does not win it. Dexter Lumis.
Yeah.
I don't dig the character.
He might eliminate a few people, which I'm fine with, but he better not be the one at the end.
I
can see him getting a pin or two. Maybe he dispatches Roderick Strong and, that kind of thing. But
I hope I honestly hope it's not Dexter Lumis. There's one other match I wanted to talk about. Maybe we'll dip into some more, but I definitely wanted to get this one some honest discussion. Because AEW's been doing a lot of these unsanctioned lights out matches. Well, we're going to get one at NXT, and it's Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, baby. By the way, spoiler alert, If you've never seen any of their matches from Ring of Honor, holy crap, they're going to kill each other. They're going to kill each other because they damn near did every time they fought in Ring of Honor for the Ring of Honor World title.
That is my self-imposed homework for this week. I've said before that I need to go and watch some of their stuff. I need to do that.
Find it. They damn near kill each other. They're hey, real quick. This match is as this match is as here you go as the first time in WWE that we saw Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens touch. You're like, okay, we have this long history of blueprint that a lot of people have never seen. Hey, let's follow that to a T. That's exactly what Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly are going to do. And shut up and take my money.
And I would like to advance the point that there's never been this much pressure on an unsanctioned match to deliver as there is on this one.
Oh, yeah, because one, for me, I think this could be one, Adam Cole's ticket, one-way ticket to the main roster. And not only that, Rocket shoved up his ass. And number two, this could be the anointing of Kyle O'Reilly as a singles competitor, which then moves him up the NXT card and then eventually to the main roster, because there aren't many people in the world that are a better technical wrestler than Kyle O'Reilly.
But I just, as I was watching the promos from the contract signing, unfortunately, I still was reminded that the one hole in Kyle's game, unfortunately, is the mic work. That promo was a lot of, cookie cutter, I'm going to go out there and give it my all kind of stuff. And Adam Cole finally gave me the promo I thought he should have given me a month ago.
I told you it was coming. I told y'all.
So you were right. I stand corrected.
Damn, I'm tired of being right. It is hard work being right all the time on this show. By the way, I'm not right all the time. Anyway, but yeah.
No, not even close. Not even close. You see the graphic coming across the bottom of your screen right now of all the times it's been wrong. It's still going. It's still spinning.
There's no graphic for the simple fact that we don't have enough time to get all of that across. So
I'll just keep mimicking that there is one. Look, there's another one. Oh wait, here comes another one.
Finally. O'Reilly's promo game's never been that great, which, in my opinion, there's a reason he's not on the main roster. There's a reason he's not stiff in the main roster right now, because he cuts a worse promo than Roman Reigns.
Sidebar.
Not new Roman Reigns. Old Roman couldn't cut a promo for not.
Hashtag suffer and succotash.
Yeah.
Very quick sidebar. You know who's been impressing me a lot over the past month, and who I'm expecting big things from?
Cameron Grimes.
Zoe Stark.
Oh, she's good.
Zoe Stark is a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, she had a huge following in the independents. And I had heard about her, but I think she was Lacey Ryan in the independents. I think that's what the name she went by. And I'd heard a lot about her. I just never seen any of her work. Dang, she's good.
The important thing about Zoe is she doesn't look out of place.
No.
She can share a ring with Candice LeRae. She can share a ring with Raquel Gonzalez. She can share a ring with Io Shirai. And she doesn't look unprepared for the moment. So many of these ballyhooed signings look unprepared. Like, if it's not going to happen, but if you were to put Simone Johnson in the ring next week with Candice, I don't know that Simone will be ready for the moment yet.
No.
There's some there's some work left to do there, obviously. But Zoe, okay, this is I believe this.
Yeah. She's one of the people that have recently come into NXT that are ready-made. her, God, blanking on her name, John Morrison's wife, Taya Valkyrie.
Okay.
Uh, when she makes her debut, which I don't think is going to be too far removed from WrestleMania weekend, um, she's ready made. Um, I want to circle back to the beginning of the conversation because there was something that came to mind in terms of really impressing, and I want to circle back to Raquel Gonzalez. In less than a year, Raquel Gonzalez has gone from being the surprise, who the hell is that heater for Dakota Kai, the Diesel to her Shawn Michaels, to now her promos are slick. Her promos are intimidating because she
Yep.
has that confidence of a physically impressive, dominant, badass woman. When she flips from English to Spanish, she doesn't sound like a caricature of someone that's uh, someone that's bilingual, like you know anybody else in the history of wrestling that's mixed English and Spanish in their promos. Sorry, Eddie. Um, Even though Eddie's
It
was,
it sound there's a flow to it. It's
yeah,
just it's a lot like when it's a lot like when Thunder Rosa switches from English to Spanish. There's a flow
exactly.
to it, you know.
Um, and the flow is simply, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yes.
She There's not a whole lot of sizzle to a Thunder Rosa. There's not a whole lot of sizzle to a Raquel Gonzalez. There's just a whole lot of steak, and it's I'm going to beat your ass in multiple languages. Um,
Yeah, it's
and
that there's a quiet confidence. It reminds me a lot of what Dean Malenko used to do in WCW. You know, and
oh yeah, absolutely.
I've become aware of his WCW time where he was not, you know, yeah, he was suppressed on the card and stuff like that. But when he was given the chance to, he was intimidating. And then he backed it up in the ring, obviously, you know, and I
Dean
feel
Malenko,
like Raquel
Dean
is
Malenko was
doing
a
the same thing.
Dean Malenko was a freaking killer in WCW.
Yeah.
The point I was trying to make. I am loving what Raquel Gonzalez is doing. All right, let's change gears because we've already talked about Wednesday night. We've already talked about Thursday night and no, it's Wednesday night and Thursday night, right?
Correct.
So
Because
let's
the
talk
Hall of
about
Fame is Friday and then Mania is Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. Because not only do we have a hell of a takeover card, we are sneaking up on a hell of a WrestleMania card. 2 nights long. It's going to be in front of people. Thank you, Lord. Um, and it's shaping up to be a swinging for the fences kind of card. And you can easily see in the way they're putting this together that they are doing just that. They are first show back in front of fans. We are swinging for the fences.
Which
What?
I
What?
give them credit for because there's a few matches in this card that I'm like, really? But I understand why. I
Oh yeah.
understand what sets of eyes they're going for to do this and this and this. I understand.
Same question to begin this conversation as we started with the NXT one. What match is making you salivate?
Well, one of the newest additions to the card as of this week. I just want Cesaro and Seth Rollins to get about 15 minutes. Let's go, boys.
Yes, yes. I got to be honest. I am hoping that this is the coming out party for Cesaro. This is a
Yes, because
guy
it's about
who
damn time.
exactly. One of the best pure wrestlers on the planet, and he's finally showing his personality. I love it. And I'm really looking forward to that one. Gotta be honest, another one that I'm looking forward to, even though we've seen it several times, we're getting Sammy and Kevin at a WrestleMania. We're getting Sammy and Kevin at a WrestleMania when Kevin last year hinted that he wanted to jump off the damn pirate ship.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's coming. It's
Oh
coming.
no.
Because, okay, Kevin's going, I want to jump off this pirate ship. Who do I know on this roster that's a crazy enough bastard and trusts me enough to let me do it? Oh, by the way, my best friend in the whole bleeping world.
Oh,
Hey,
here comes Sammy to talk about the match. Hi, Sammy.
hey, Sammy, I want to jump off the pirate ship and put you through a table. What do you think? Well, you've done worse. Dude, they tried to kill each other in Ring of Honor. Him jumping off the damn pirate ship and putting Sammy through a couple of tables, guess what? That's not even close. That's not even top 5 worst things that Kevin Steen ever did to El Generico.
I have a feeling I would have really dug Ring of Honor if I had been watching it live.
Oh,
With as many
old
people as came through there.
old school Ring of Honor. When Ring of Honor was really Ring of Honor, oh my God. Is you had some amazing talent and amazing teams and amazing matches that came out of that. Good grief. Ring of Honor now. Anyway, moving right along. I agree with you on that. I agree with you on the Cesaro and Seth Rollins. I'm looking forward to Sammy and Kevin, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm looking forward to Lashley and McIntyre.
Yes.
And here's why. With you don't have any hype built up around it like you have in in a lot of other WrestleMania main events that involved big heavyweight guys. Lesnar and Roman, for example, 1.5 million times. You have 2 heavyweights for the title, and these 2 are very physical heavyweights. This has late 80s, early 90s heavyweight boxing written all over it. It's going to be punishing,
And I
and
think the
it's
fact that there is no hype, or comparatively there's less hype than its other matches, is going to help them.
comparatively speaking to a Lesnar main event at a
Right.
WrestleMania. Because Lesnar brings in his own hype and his own buzz because he is Brock freaking Lesnar.
And I'll be honest, this match barely cracks the top 5 of the matches I'm interested in seeing from this Mania. And that's not because I don't like Lashley or I don't like McIntyre. It's just there's all these other matches, all these other spectacles all over the card that just have a lot more story already built into them.
Yeah, this doesn't have story built into it. It's just got quality built into
Yes.
it. Because right now, this argue with me, and I'm not saying you, Brian. Anybody else? Argue with me all you want on this one, boys and girls. But this is the absolute. We gotta move the camera a little closer. This is the absolute best Bobby Lashley that we have ever seen. Not just in WWE, but in Impact as well. This Bobby Lashley is his absolute best. And Drew has not dropped off at all since Royal Rumble last year.
And I'm very proud of what Lashley has done for persevering, for putting that work in, because he had goals. He's like, okay, I want to be in this position. And through hard work, character development, surrounding himself with the right people, having MVP as his mouthpiece and all that sort of thing,
There you
he's
go.
reached that position because, let's be honest, he's not the best promo in the business.
No,
So
that's right.
let's push that to the side. Let somebody else talk for me. And now here I am in a position to deliver in the main event of night 1 of WrestleMania. I mean, you can't ask for much more
Right.
than that.
Yeah. That and personally, I think the key to Bobby Lashley's success lately is MVP. Is the Hurt Business. I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now. As much as I hate the name, that stable works.
Yeah.
And you have MVP as your piece, you're not going to get much better. There are better, but not many.
And
So,
then
go ahead. Go ahead.
as I'm scrolling through, speaking of another match that's got a lot of pressure on it that needs to deliver,
I know where you're going with this one.
Randy Orton versus The Fiend.
Not where I thought you were going, but yeah, that one too.
It needs, it's got, my God, it's got to deliver, because I appreciate they've been playing the long game with these guys for, but I felt that lately anyway, it's gotten kind of tiring, because I'll talk for a couple of seconds about the match they had at Fastlane with Randy and Alexa. I knew we weren't going to get a match.
Right.
Underlying dictionary definition can be consulted on page 311 of your Webster's dictionary. But pretty much after the spot where Alexa looked at the ceiling and then the light stanchion dropped, that was where it kind of went, really?
Yeah.
It just became a little hokey until the Fiend showed up and came through the ring.
Time. I have a question. Stopping you right there because I have a question for you that really can't wait because we're talking about it in the moment.
Okay.
We saw the Fiend. What was the first thing that went through your mind?
Son of a bitch. I mean, and yes, I saw all the people on Twitter making fun of it and deriding it, but these are just people who can't see the forest for the trees. These are people who can't look at the entire arc of what's been happening here.
They can't see 15 seconds in front of their own stinking face.
Right. In the sense of this character back at Survivor Series got barbecued, if you want to look at it that way. And in the sense of the grander story arc that's going on with this guy and all the scores he's trying to settle. And I'll steal a line from you in the in the style of classic horror movie villains.
Thank you.
You can't, what else was he going to show up? Was he going to show up in a tuxedo? No, he was going to show up looking something like this.
Wait. When you fricassee Jason Voorhees, and even though this didn't happen in this order in any of these movies for you hardcore horror fans, so don't act. If you fricassee Jason Voorhees at the end of Friday the 13th Part 9, in Friday the 13th Part 10, he comes back as barbecued. He comes back with the scars, the battle scars of being just, nuked, for lack of a better term.
And smoldering.
Did you really expect to see the same Fiend? Nope. If you did, I'm sorry, STUPID. Sorry.
So this match has to deliver for me. And
absolutely.
I wonder if it were me as Bray, and it's not, boys and girls, so I would calm down.
You're not that you're mine.
Do you get a denigration of Randy's career in a Firefly Funhouse match?
I will answer your question with a question. Yes or no? Should this match be cinematic?
I say yes.
If I say yes too, and because of that, we do a Firefly Funhouse, and we literally do the same thing we did with Cena, but with Orton. Oh my God, can we go so much deeper?
Because another sidebar alert, the Stone Cold Steve Austin Broken Skull sessions with Randy was outstanding.
God, yes.
They went places I didn't think they were going to go. There's a lot of meat on this bone for Bray to really get into if Randy wants to. And because Randy is trying to put himself out there as a guy that wants to give back and a guy that wants to, you know, do right by the future generations the way generations did right by him, I would imagine he would be willing to do that sort of thing, you know.
If
So in that sense, nothing's off limits.
Brian, if he wasn't, we wouldn't be playing the long game with this.
True.
It would for Randy Orton, someone who's accomplished everything that he's accomplished and will be a Hall of Famer once he retires. I mean, it's a given. That is a lock. That's lock, stock, and barrel. If he didn't like the creative to, you know, use someone else's line, it wouldn't work for him, brother. Sorry, it's a Hogan thing. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me started on Hogan. He's a piece of crap. But, again, if Randy didn't like the creative, that doesn't work for me, brother.
Right.
But he does.
Which is why I'm cautiously optimistic about this one.
I'm hoping to God it is. It would make perfect sense. And please don't give us another match like you gave us at that WrestleMania a couple years ago where there was the projections on the mat that were stupid. One thing I want to point out, I saw on Twitter a tweet from Bray Wyatt, and it was a picture in the ring of Randy Orton getting ready to punt Husky Harris of neck in the head, leading up to WrestleMania 28, 27, and WrestleMania Atlanta.
That was 27.
All right, yeah. Which was Orton and CM Punk. Leading into that, he punted everybody in Nexus in the head to get to Punk, and one of those people was Husky Harris, who we now know as Bray Wyatt. Yeah. And at the end of it at the end of the text of the tweet was a red circle. So
many levels.
Quick, my turn for a quick sidebar. I found something that I do not like about Bray Wyatt, about Wyndham Rotunda. I found one thing about him that makes me kinda not like him.
No.
Everything else about him I love, but there's one thing about him that I'm like, okay, I don't like you, but everything else outweighs you. Do you know what it is?
He's an Alabama fan.
No.
Okay.
Where did I go to college?
Jacksonville State.
Do you know Jacksonville State's arch rival?
You've told me this before.
Bray Wyatt played football at Troy State.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
University. That's the big rival. So I'm like, oh crap, you went to Troy. Damn it.
That's like whenever I meet somebody who went to Mount Union. We don't like them very much.
Exactly. John Carroll, Mountain Union, not so much.
But we don't get together at Christmas.
Yeah. But you know what, Bray? I'll forgive you. Whoop Troy. Anyway, anything else on this card standing out to you?
The A Lot Can Change in a Month match. Miz versus Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Because my buddy at work and I were talking about it. Friend of the show, shout out Chris. We were talking about how a lot can change in a month. A month ago, you were WWE champion, and now you're wrestling Bad Bunny at WrestleMania.
And you know what? Mike Mizanin is smart enough to realize there is money in that match.
Yes. And at first, I'm like, why is this guy here? But I get it. I don't know that much about Bad Bunny, but I know what appeal he has to certain members of the global audience and things like that. So
globally, he is huge.
Yes.
And we're talking like Bad Bunny is huge around the world, but maybe not in America. Kind of like how soccer is huge around the world and not in America.
Yes.
Um, kind of like that. This dude is massively huge. And okay, so I'm just looking at it in terms of Bad Bunny himself. Forget, you know, I'm gonna be a no, I'm not gonna be a wrestling purist on this one. I never have been, never will be, by the way. Um, so Bad Bunny appears at the Rumble, does his song, gets involved, and now is jumps off the top rope and takes out Miz Morrison, and a couple of other guys. Kind of a cool thing because Bad Bunny is a straight up wrestling fan, big wrestling fan. Um, Fast forward several weeks, he's showing up with Damian Priest. They're hanging out backstage. Bad Bunny rolls up R-Truth and is now the 24/7 champion. Oh my God, this is stupid. This doesn't make sense. He shows up the next freaking week on Saturday Night Live as the musical guest, performing while holding the 24/7 championship in his hand, and shows up to Monday Night Raw every week.
Yes.
He has shown up for Monday Night Raw every week since the Royal Rumble, including the Monday night after that Saturday night's main event. Sorry, Saturday night's main event. Saturday night.
And that's what stops me from calling this a charade, a stunt, because he's actually coming in and putting the work in.
Yes, he is.
From all accounts, he's very respectful backstage. He wants to learn as much as he can, soak it up.
Yep.
You know,
but also looking at continuing finishing up my look at Bad Bunny real quick. So he's done all that. Oh, by the way, he also won a Grammy. So now former 24/7 champion, because he gave the belt back to R-Truth, which I thought that was kind of cool. But I still wanted to see him beat Bad Bunny for the 24/7 title at WrestleMania and finally give R-Truth his WrestleMania moment, because damn it, he does. But he's done all of this, and now he has a Grammy, and eyes are going to be on him when he's at WrestleMania because of the following that he has. That being said, just like Bam Bam Bigelow never had a problem jobbing out to Lawrence Taylor at WrestleMania 11, The Miz is not going to have a problem doing the JOB to Bad Bunny at this year's WrestleMania. Why? Show me the money.
right. And this is probably as good as time as any. I've been teasing this for a couple of weeks now. Boys and girls, if you have not downloaded the Peacock app, this is probably the week you want to do it. Now, I have good news, and nobody asked me to do this, but I have good news. If you go to the Peacock app and you use the promo code Peacock Mania, maybe Patrick could put that on the screen just so we can all see it, like how to spell it and everything like that. You get your first 4 months for $10 total.
Really?
$2.50 a month.
That sucks because I've already signed up.
The promo is going on right now. So if anybody has, like me, I was going to do it this week so that I'm ready for next week.
Oh.
You get the first 4 months, and I believe that's the premium, the commercial free for $10 total, $2.50 a month.
That sucks.
Because I just noticed that all the commercials and stuff like that. So that's my public service announcement.
Well,
anybody who hasn't switched over to Peacock yet, take care of it this week so you're not scrambling the following week because you don't want to miss out on all this great wrestling we're talking about.
Since you haven't done it, I have. Let me go ahead and throw a cautionary tale. If you're expecting to jump on Peacock and be able to surf and find all of the WWE stuff that you saw on the network as easily as you were able to navigate the network, I'm sorry, you're going to be massively disappointed, like I still am. It is, as it stands right now, a bitch to navigate. That's
what I've heard.
It's a bitch. So patience, boys and girls. And
Because I've
also,
read articles that say that in order for Peacock to migrate everything, it's going to take their staff a while to do it before it approaches the levels of content that are on the network right now. So
if they knew this was going to happen, they should have been doing it and
I
just kind of kept it hidden. Okay, we're not going to turn this stuff on until this particular date. All right, it's all there. All right, and go. Come
I
on,
agree.
plan ahead, idiots. But again, navigating it is a bitch. You've been warned.
The
Sorry.
Lovebirds going to be happy because Murder She Wrote is on Peacock,
Oh,
so she'll be
dude,
get to watch Murder She Wrote.
dude, Murder She Wrote's on there. All 8 Harry Potter movies are on there. There's a lot of stuff on there. I trust me. I have been enjoying watching Premier League soccer and rugby.
So
I'm
despite the
not.
frustrations you'll experience with the network part of it, there's still so much content to get lost in.
Oh yeah, there's a ton. I mean, it's good. Just navigating it is a bitch. So, Brian, rumor has it we got a new segment.
Rumor has it. Rumor has it. Yes, we
Well,
do have a new segment, and we're really excited about this one.
it's kind of funny that you were singing a song, even though it was a different song. We're gonna rip off some old hip hop for this one. Hit it.
Because you can go with this, or you can go with that. You can go with this, or you can go with that. That's
It is
right, boys and girls. The segment is called This or That. Straight from the ideas, folks, at Wrestling with Egos. We're going to propose two choices, y'all, and the other person has to pick one and say why they're picking it. A bunch of quick hitters, basically.
Yeah, and you can't go none of the above. You cannot Brewster's Millions this one. You have to choose.
As the visiting team, I will let you propose the first this or that.
WrestleMania or Takeover.
Ooh, you bastard.
And here's
By
why.
the
Wait,
slimmest, no, I'll take a stand.
no, wait, real quick. I did that because I thought you had them all, and I was not prepared. And that was the first thing that came to mind.
Okay. The idea is back and forth, like serve and volley, that kind of thing.
For next week, then.
By the thinnest of margins, Takeover. And the reason I say that is because Takeover, since its inception, I think has delivered quality from front to back more consistently than WrestleManias have. I could go on and on for the next 25 hours about my iconic WrestleMania moments, and I see from the look on Patrick's face he doesn't want me to do that, so I'm not going to. But in the context of start to finish, the takeovers have been consistently brilliant
Right.
since their inception. So
Right.
that's why I picked Takeover.
All right.
Your first one, good sir. Stipulation time. Do you prefer ladder matches or do you prefer Hell in a Cell matches?
Ladder. Not even a debate.
Okay.
Hell in a Cell matches. Rarely does the
We'll even take the Seth Rollins Bray Wyatt one out of the equation.
no. I'm talking as a whole.
Okay.
Rarely does and I'm going to use the word apparatus. Rarely does the apparatus get used creatively in Hell in the Cell. Maybe 3, 4 times it's been used creatively. Everything else just kind of makes it clunky, and it's a poor match that can't leave more than 6 feet outside of the ring. Hell in the Cell matches are supposed to be brutal, and the only reason they're brutal is because people have done stupid shit called diving off the cell. Mick Foley, Shane McMahon.
Yeah, looking at you, Shano.
Look at it, ladder matches are still being evolved, and we've seen ladder matches at the WWE level since WrestleMania 10.
And
And
it
there's
looks like we're going to get a ladder match between Jordan Devlin and Santos Escobar because Sean just kind of came down and went into the ring.
so freaking gangster.
I'm just going to leave this right here.
Hey guys, here you go. And just walked off like, you're welcome. So yeah, ladder match. Not even a won't even think about that one.
Understood.
My next one for you. Universal Championship match, WWE Championship match. Both have their pros and their cons. Neither one are really like, oh, this is gonna be good.
See, here's the problem. And I'll answer the question because that's that's the reason we have this little segment is to answer the question and have a take. But I feel like there's been so much hot potatoing of shows and names and designs and stuff that I tend to forget sometimes which belt is which. I tend to forget which one has the lineage that goes all the way back to George Hackenschmidt and all those people, and which one is the more recent creation. And
Yeah.
that's kind of an indictment of the way they book things and the way they move people around and stuff like that. If I'm a student of the game, I should know which one is which. But you have to sit and think about, okay, which one are they wrestling for again? That being said, it's 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 Roman's belt that's got the lineage, right? See, it's Lashley's belt, and
He is the WWE champion, and
okay,
that actually dates back to the WWF championship dates back to Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. George
yes,
Hackett was the NWA champion.
okay, yeah,
And the Universal Championship's lineage dates all the way back to Finn Balor.
yes,
I will
and
give
it's tells you everything you need to know that I loused that up.
right.
Because I've just gotten so utterly confused by all the twists and turns that we've had.
Right. But which match?
Well, based on that now, it has to be the WWE Championship. I mean, maybe this is a question where there are no wrong answers because it's a championship match. But for me, it's the one that Lashley's holding right now.
Well, for me, if I'm answering that question, I want to answer this one, to be honest. I'm looking at which match, forget which title is which match has me more intrigued, which match is like, oh, okay, okay. And this is going to hurt saying this. I love Edge. The build up to Edge, Roman, and now Daniel Bryan has really sucked.
I wouldn't say it sucked. It's just been
Blase.
yeah.
So give me Lashley and McIntyre because I know what I'm getting out of that one.
Because another friend of show, Ryan, shout out to you, Ryan, asked me at work this week, was that a heel turn from Edge?
Yep.
And I told him I didn't think it was necessarily a heel turn more than it was a vigilante, thing like, I've earned this, give me what I want, stop taking my moment away from me. You're forgetting the role that I'm playing in this, and if that's heelish, then so be it.
Main roster doesn't deal in that deep of shades of gray. Vince McMahon isn't that smart. That would NXT. That wouldn't happen in the main roster. Vince McMahon isn't that deep.
I guess I was just hoping for some credit from you for thinking that deeply.
Oh, no. I am giving you a ton of credit for it. I'm not giving Vince any credit for that one. Why? Because he has the depth of a thimble. You got any more for me? I don't have any more for you. Do you have any more for me?
I have two. I have two more for you, actually.
Bring them.
Yeah. Let's talk about the women for a second.
All right.
Victoria or Molly Holly?
Molly Holly. Molly Holly. First off, I answer that overall package.
Okay.
Victoria, much better, better, not much better, but better wrestler. Don't get me wrong. Molly Holly was no slouch either. But Victoria, one of the best in the ring. Um, the package of especially Mighty Molly when she was teamed up with the Hurricane, I loved that gimmick. And also at the same time, when Molly Holly had the long blonde hair, oh man, I had such a huge crush on her.
There it is.
Not gonna lie, I I had the biggest freaking crush on Molly Holly. So yeah.
And this last one, you're gonna hate me for.
Oh, whatever.
I know what your answer is gonna be, or at least I think I do, but you're gonna hate me for it.
Okay.
Eddie Guerrero or Kurt Angle?
You're a son of a bitch.
Yeah, I know. That was when I was doing my research for this during the week. That was the first one that came to my mind for some reason. I can't tell you why. And the more I stared at it, I'm like, he's gonna whoop my ass.
Honestly, I'm really not. Because now that in the couple seconds of you explaining that, I actually thought, that's actually an easy answer. Eddie, do not get me wrong. Kurt Angle was amazing. As great as Kurt Angle was, I was never a massive Kurt Angle fan. I loved Eddie.
Okay.
So just from a fan perspective, I'm answering it from a fan perspective, not necessarily who is better in the ring. I loved Eddie more than I loved Kurt.
And that's kind of how I envision this segment going. Is it a mixture of softballs and oh, wait a minute now, hold on a second here kind of questions where like the Mania takeover that you just gave me. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't think you mean I actually have to pick one? No.
Yeah. One thing I want we've got a quick bar talk that we're going to get into just a second. But one thing I did want to bring up earlier in the evening. You mentioned, and I can't remember what match it was, but a match WrestleMania week having a lot of pressure on it. Do you
Yes.
remember what?
Kyle O'Reilly. Well, I don't know. Well, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole has the most pressure on it to take over. I think Randy Orton has a lot of pressure on it at Mania.
All right. Okay, thank you. Um, I, I when you said that, I wanted to mention another match with pressure, but I forgot to, and I want to circle back to that.
Sure thing.
Sasha and Bianca.
Oh, geez, yes.
And I don't mean because of the build up or anything else. One, it is a women's match that has a lot of build to it that does not involve a huge name coming from the outside like Ronda Rousey. This is a build that was created in house and it is taking on a life of its own. So there's pressure there. Number two, there are people begging for this to main event one of the two nights of WrestleMania because it is a women's match that has its own build that isn't assisted by a globally recognized mixed martial artist. And number three, neither one of them are white. So the social, the racial, the gender implications in how big this match is and the way it's being built up, I'm not glossing over that because the build to this has been gnarly. This match has to be a killer. To be completely honest, if I were Sasha, if I were Mercedes Vernado, I would be hoping and praying that this match goes off bigger and better than the match against Bayley in Brooklyn. Because if it doesn't, I'm not saying it's going to be damaging, but it's going to be a letdown because people want this. They're not, maybe not be expecting it, but they want this to be huge.
Yeah. And you bringing that match up reminded me of what question we were going to ask each other, but maybe we don't do it because of the interest of time. Here's what I don't want to happen. I don't want to tune in to SmackDown this week or read about it the following day and discover that the powers that be have made the choice to insert somebody into that match to make it a triple threat.
They're not.
They better not.
They're not.
If you were going to ask me the question, is there a match that's not on the card that you would add to the card, and what night would you add it? The match I would add, there are two larger than life females that do not have a match on this card right now. It would be not that big of a deal for you to create some friction between them, worthy of, let's throw a match onto the middle of night 2, for example, and those two people are Charlotte Flair and my girl, Ding Dong, hello, Bayley.
And I have a response, and I will quickly tell you why this match will not happen. 3 simple words: global pandemic bastard. Charlotte has COVID.
Yes, this is true.
Will not be cleared in time for WrestleMania.
Right.
So Charlotte. Okay. So there was a rumor when Andrade got released that Charlotte threatened to sit out of WrestleMania or even longer if they did not release her fiance, Andrade. That rumor turned out to be complete horse crap because it was later revealed that the reason Charlotte did not appear at Fastlane is because she's suffering from global pandemic bastard.
And in all seriousness, we hope she's recuperating and doing well and all of that.
You know, love her or hate her, she's one of the best in the world.
And I love her. I mean, I am a Charlotte fan, not to the level that I am of, Bayley and a couple of others, but I appreciate Charlotte's genius in the ring. I appreciate how much she's worked through to get to this spot where she's at. Yep. I appreciate what an ambassador she is for females, to look up to and, things like that, and all of her charitable work and all that stuff. It's, she's a wonderful person for wrestling.
She is worthy of the status that she has. She is worthy of the admiration that she receives from wrestling fans, men and women alike. And at some point down the line, she will be worthy of Hall of Fame recognition, which is a great segue to our bar talk. Brian, you don't have to give me a long list of names. You can give me just a couple. But what I'm looking for tonight is I'm looking for names of people that are not in the WWE Hall of Fame that should have been already. Now, caveat, don't bring up names like Owen Hart or Chris Benoit or people that there is never a chance in the deepest, darkest pits of blackest hell that we're ever going to see them in the Hall of Fame. People that there's a better chance of me being an Alabama fan or a Yankees fan or a Lakers fan than seeing them in the Hall of Fame.
And ever since you gave me this topic in our pre-show get-together, the only names that have come to mind are people that fall into that category where for whatever reason they're just not going to get in. And I'm not even talking about the controversial ones like Chris Benoit, you know, whatever.
All right, well, throw those out then. Let's hear them.
There's two names that I've kept coming back to, and both of them are down in Jacksonville now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
because up until they signed, you would have thought it was logical for everything that Big Show Paul White has done, and for everything that Christian has done. I would think that they would both be worthy of consideration. Whether you think they're Hall of Famers or not, I think they're worthy of consideration.
Christian, I don't know if he sacrificed his Hall of Fame ticket by going to Jacksonville. I do know from interviews that have been conducted with Paul White since going to AEW that he went to AEW with the blessing of Vince McMahon.
Okay.
When Paul White's done with AEW, or maybe not even before he's done with AEW, Paul White will be in the WWE Hall of Fame at some point. Not a doubt in my mind. Christian, maybe as well. Jericho, not a chance in hell.
And as we were talking about Big Show, that was the third name that popped into my head because you can't tell me Jericho's not deserving.
Oh, he's absolutely deserving, but
But
himself with the position he's taken with AEW and things that he has said about WWE since being, in AEW. But I've got a name that I have been screaming from the top of the mountains for years. Why is this man not in the Hall of Fame? Let me ask you a question, and we're going to circle back to NXT TakeOver. Who did Adam Cole punch at the end of that brawl on NXT this week? Why the hell is William Regal not in the Hall of Fame? William freaking Regal.
if for no other reason than all of the demons he's had to overcome to get to this point and then still have as sharp of a mind as he does.
And the respect that
Yep.
he has from everybody in every damn locker room.
Yes.
I mean, I'll put it to you this way, boys and girls. In NXT, and this is not just on camera, this is behind the scenes as well. Everyone refers to him as Mr. Regal. He is, demons aside, a world class. He was a world class performer. He is a world class human being. I have first hand experience of it. I've met the man. He was absolutely wonderful to me and my friends at a gas station just outside of Birmingham, Alabama during the invasion angle when they came through Birmingham for a Monday Night Raw. He was a wonderful human being, took pictures with us. I do not have that picture anymore. But I can't say enough amazing things about William effing Regal.
Mr. Regal, if you're watching Wrestling with Egos and you want to maybe send a picture to Patrick, I think he'd really appreciate it.
No, I want the picture of me and my friends Scott and Amy with him. And the only person that would have that would be Scott, and I don't really talk to him anymore.
Oh, well, but I'm sure Mr. Regal would still love to pick up the phone and, maybe get an address for correspondence.
That would be dope. But yeah, the first name that came to my mind was bloody William Regal. I mean,
I would imagine that will happen one of these years.
It has to.
Yes.
It should have already happened. Here's my thing.
Despite the bar talk from a couple of weeks ago about loused up NXT call-ups, nobody can deny the work that he's done with those guys and gals.
Regal was never a part of those call-ups. That wasn't his call. That was Vince's. Right. And Vince is the one that we indict for that. Here's my thing. You mean to tell me that this year in the Hall of Fame, the stupid ass Bella twins are going in the Hall of Fame and William Regal's not in there? Really? You got to be crapping me. And the fact that the Bella twins are talking about they want to have one more run because they want the tag team titles. So help me God, if that happens, I'm never watching Raw. I'm never watching WWE again. The Bellas are the worst thing to ever happen to wrestling. Clearly, it's the worst thing to ever happen to John Cena. I went there. I went there. Deal with it. Kiss my grits, as Cameron Grimes would say. But William Regal is one of those names. Why in God's name is he not there? I've got one more for you.
Okay.
Where in the hell is Chavo?
Chavo needs to be in there.
Yeah. Chavo. Coco Beware. Brutus Beefcake. They're in there. Where is Chavo?
Kerwin Wyatt. Just kidding. I know there's more. There's a way more to it than that, but that I just keep thinking about that one because of what they did to Tyler Breeze on Uno that one time late last year, where they
Yeah.
where they made him do that, and then like that's still my favorite episode where he starts making fun of the way Adam Cole like talks. Is my Spider-Man shirt clean? Nothing is cute. That's still my favorite one they've ever done.
Yeah, that was good.
That was
But
the punishment for that episode.
Chavo, William Regal. I gotta be honest. Look, my list of why the hell aren't they in the Hall of Fame has dropped significantly over the last couple of weeks because why the hell isn't Kane in the Hall of Fame? Why the hell isn't Eric Bischoff in the Hall of Fame? Well,
We're gonna take care of that.
We're taking care of that.
And it was a wonderful, wonderful touch what they did. When Undertaker FaceTimed him and
yes,
is this real? Yeah, there's no Hall of Fame without you, brother.
Yeah, it was so good. Here's one thing. You mean to tell me? This is where I will end it. You mean to tell me that William Regal is not in the Hall of Fame, but we're putting the Great Khali in there?
Where is the dislike button? I'm looking for the dislike button and I'm clicking it now.
I think
don't.
They're Skype. But yeah, dude, come on. William Bloody Regal. There we go. Way to go, B. Way to go. So yeah, anybody else?
Look at me with the visual effects for once.
Yeah, I know. We're teaching you editing little by little. Yeah. Anybody else you want to throw out?
Those were the major ones. I'm sure if I sat down and started pulling out rosters from like the Attitude Era or the Ruthless Aggression Era, somebody else. I just thought of one. Here we go. I'll do mine first really quick.
Yes.
What about Hardcore Holly? Or is he too niche?
Too niche, I think.
He never really rose above. He got that one title shot against Lesnar, that one pay-per-view, and that was it.
Right. I got one more. And it's kind of cool because there's a rumor that the next announcement of the next person going to the Hall of Fame is Rob Van Dam. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Where the Hell is Paul Heyman?
I think it's not the right time yet because this year you have two classes being mushed together. I think Paul will get lost in the shuffle. I know not because of him. He has a way of standing out in the crowd. Trust me.
I agree, but just like Bischoff and just like Kane, and just my argument, point of this bar talk is, why aren't they already in there?
Right.
Why isn't Heyman already in there? Why isn't Bischoff already in there? Because I'm sorry, but without WCW and ECW and WWE in the 90s, wrestling doesn't exist right now.
Well,
Wrestling
now
as
in that vein, I'll give you one more.
okay. Well, the only reason he's not in the Hall of Fame right now is because he hasn't said so.
Right. I mean, if all bets are off, then I might as well just direct you over my left shoulder here.
Rock goes in when the Rock feels like it. That's
Right.
just all to it. Just like the Undertaker. Undertaker's not going in this year. Why? Because the Undertaker hasn't said, yeah, I'll go in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Those two go in when they damn well feel like it.
Oh my
That's
God,
just
I
all.
just thought of something.
What?
You want a Hall of Fame class? How about next year? Heyman, Taker, and Rock all going in the same year.
No. If you're going to do that, for the record, Hall of Fame classes in WWE always like 7, 8, 9 people. If you really want to have a holy crap Hall of Fame, and I wouldn't do it next year, I'd wait for LA. I'd wait for Hollywood. You know why?
I thought
If
Hollywood was next year.
no, Texas is next year.
So Texas is 38, Hollywood 39.
Right.
Okay.
If I'm not. And no, don't get me wrong. It makes perfect sense to put the Undertaker in Texas. But Hollywood, your Hall of Fame class is The Rock and The Undertaker. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
By God, there is no better, loftier way to put two of the most influential people in wrestling ever into the Hall of Fame than go, oh, yeah, by the way, this Hall of Fame class, yeah, that's it. Rock, Taker. Boom. I'm sorry, but you can do 2 hours of TV with just those guys. Best ofs, reactions of people telling Rock stories and Taker stories. Then your induction speech, whoever is doing those two inductions, and then both of them. Bam, that's
Maybe
2 hours.
even have a little stare down.
No, you don't need that. But you have 2 hours of TV right there. I got one question for you. We talked about Bischoff. Who puts him in? Who puts him in the Hall of Fame? Who puts Kane in? And we're going to end with this, by the way. So go ahead, producers, and play the out music.
The logical person to put Kane in. I mean, I keep thinking about Taker. I don't know if
that's a logical one, yeah, but I don't think it'll be him. And I'll tell you why in a second.
Oh, would Lawler do it?
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel, yes. Yeah.
Here's why Taker, in my opinion, Taker shouldn't do it. You don't get Mark Calloway on that stage until it's his time.
Right. Yes.
My opinion. You do not put The Undertaker on that stage for the Hall of Fame until someone's putting his happy ass in there. Daniel Bryan would be the second best choice. Kind of like how when Diamond Dallas Page went in, it should have been Dusty putting him in.
Yes.
Dusty wasn't, so it had to be Bischoff. That being said, we are going to get out of here because it's late and I got to go to bed and I got to be up early in the morning. So for my best friend Brian, for everybody else involved with this, by the way, one more time, happy happy second Ego-versary to everybody. We love you guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys so much for the support. Until next week for the pre-WrestleMania show.
Oh, I know
I
what that means. Next week, if it's the WrestleMania preview, we gotta we gotta get that coat and tie out.
Yeah, and we'll see what else we can work out, but we'll definitely do that. So until then, for Brian, I'm Patrick. This has been Wrestling with Egos. Thanks for watching, because this is why we love wrestling.